So let me just say this up front. When I first saw the trailers for Superman 2025, I was not really enthusiastic about what was going on. Then all of a sudden you hear some backlash from a whole bunch of channels on YouTube, Rumble, or Twitch, and maybe Twitter that was saying these people were saying this about the movie. James Gunn said this about certain people, so the movie was always going to be trash. It was going to be woke. Let me just say, Superman 2025 was not woke, okay? And let me go ahead and give credit to people like Yellow Flash, right? Because he was one of the ones that was reporting about how woke the movie was, but then when you actually saw the movie, he saw that, yo, this movie is not woke. It's not woke at all. It's actually pretty fun. It's actually pretty entertaining. They gave a pretty great depiction about who Superman is and what he represents, and how much love he has for the people around him, right? That's literally what James Gunn portrayed Superman as in this movie. I would say James Gunn did a pretty great job at, depicting Superman and who Superman is. I will say that. But there are people who would still, probably mainly from the conservative side, that will probably read some report. They don't watch these movies that they say is quote unquote woke or liberal. The same thing that they do with the video game community, right? They criticize video games like, Grums, who has me blocked. They would not actually play these games, and then they would scam you for money to just say, hey, this game or this movie is this way, so you shouldn't go watch it. You shouldn't judge for yourself. No, me, again, when I first saw the previews and I saw the trailers and I saw the posters for Superman 2025, I was not very enthusiastic. So me, I'm one of those ones that will judge things for myself. Like how when it came to a lot of DC movies, Marvel movies, if it was good, I said it was good. If it was bad, I said it was bad. And with Superman 2025, it was a pretty fun, pretty fantastic, pretty wholesome movie, as you would expect from a Superman movie. But the main problem is a lot of people are comparing it to Man of Steel. I get it. Zack Snyder's vision for DC, Warner Brothers should have pushed it instead of just kicking Zack Snyder out of the way, because he did have a whole vision for the DC universe, the DCEU, but he ain't had the chance to do it because Warner Brothers wanted to rush out movies to try to catch up with Marvel instead of taking their freaking time. But again, I can't really blame Zack Snyder for that, because it's just the damn suits that's in the freaking building that's just worried about fast money and not actually taking the time to gain a lot more money so they can be competitive with with the MCU. But right now the MCU is on a downhill. Right now, if James Gunn is in charge of the DC extended universe or the DC live action movies from now on, superhero movies, then from what I've seen with Superman, it's a pretty good start, or a pretty great start, because Superman 2025, it was wholesome, it was fun, great soundtrack. The costume could have been better though, but there was some fun parts in this that made me laugh and made me snicker. Good characters. The people who truly carried this movie was Superman, Lex Luthor, Krypto the Superdog, and Mr. Terrific. Those four characters right there carried this movie. So everyone had their own shine. Everyone had their own, glimmer of action and stuff like that. And like I said, it's not a perfect movie. Now, me, I would give Superman 2025 a 9 out of 10. There were some parts that could have given, actually no, an 8 out of 10. There were some parts that could have been better, and there were some visuals that could have been better. But as overall, the fight scenes was pretty good. There was a certain twist, a couple of post-credit scenes, and the characters depicted, or the actors depicted these characters pretty well. So, I'm not going to get into major spoilers, but I will say, if you are a fan of still a fan of the superhero genre, Superman is right there. Because Superman 2025 was a great movie. I will give it a 8 out of 10. Do not compare it with Man of Steel. Please don't do that. Because Man of Steel was great in its own way. And the hate for that movie, it's severely forced. It really is. But Man of Steel was a more darker version. Superman 2025 was a more upbeat version, a more wholesome version, which I like that with Superman, but I also like how they did with Man of Steel because they try to put a little realism into it. But right now, like I said, Superman 2025, I would recommend it. Like I said, the 4 characters that carried the movie are Superman, Crypto, the Superdog, Lex Luthor, and Mr. Terrific. Those 4 carried that movie. They really did. But let me know what y'all think about it. If you guys are interested in seeing it, let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments below. You guys like the video, like and subscribe, share the video. I will see y'all next one. Peace.